Okay, this is Tuesday. This is Tuesday, the 23rd of July, and I've just been to a funeral. So I've just come back from a funeral today. We're going to talk about the funeral, but we're going to talk about a couple of guns in a minute and what we just got in, because we've got a lot of amazing stuff in at the moment. So I've just come back from a funeral. It's 9:30 at night, and my mate's army guy. He's doing the video tree stump. So this is what we're going to do is we're going to this guy here passed away on the 17th of July, and his name is Frederick David Houghton, and everyone used to know him as Fred. Fred was a really top bloke. He was in the army from about, I think, 1951. So he was 91 years old in his 92nd year. So he died at 91. Most of the guys at Antique Arms all sort of knew him. He was quite good at what he does. So he done a lot of displays and won many displays. All his stuff was very perfect. Trench art was very good. Everything this guy done was very good. So we just go that picture of it. That was the service, and when he was younger with his wife that passed away about 8 or 9 years before he passed away. Picture, he was a real hard case guy. When I first met him, he was always goldy. He always had a lot of gold, and I always thought this guy, when I first saw him, he had a trench art collection which was perfect. He used to polish everything. There used to not be a fingerprint on it. So I always thought he was a rich bastard until I went around to his house and I found out he wasn't that rich. But he always come across, when I first met him, he was like always gold, and I was never into gold. I was always into silver. So anyway, Fred, I went to his funeral. I've sort of just got back from his funeral. I'm wearing my medals to represent Fred as a military guy, and he was in the military for those 3 years, and he would have loved me to go there in his military. I gave him a salute as a coffin went out there and everything. A bit disappointed that he did, many shows and got a lot of young people interested in military. Fred did. He was a very hard case. I used to go and be the first over his table when he started selling stuff in his later years. He sold stuff, and it was always me and Jeff Oldham would run over to his table and see what bargains, what he had and what he had picked up. He'd been doing it for 70 years. Got a lot of young fellas into collecting over the time, but most of them were sort of old buggers now, or maybe even older than me. But he knew the whole radius in the time of all the guys that were veterans and everything. He knew them all. So within a radius around Otaki, he had or around the southern half of the North Island, he had a radius of 200-300 miles that he used to go around. He knew all the veterans, and he used to go around to all garage sales. He went around. He was old school, so he went around, and he was very good at what his collecting was, and a very, very funny man, and I always enjoyed Fred. So just a bit disappointing that I went to his funeral, and there was 150 people or so roughly there. I was the only military guy there out of all the Antique Arms guys. I didn't know anyone that had turned up, or anyone that was ex-military that turned up, but I gave him his send-off he deserved. And good on you, Fred. I'll never forget you. Just another bit of knowledge gone, but I sucked a little bit of his knowledge, which is good. I like sucking knowledge out of, people that have done. So, Fred, I will remember you for a very long time. We're going to talk, well, what we've actually been doing. I've been picking up some amazing collections lately. I know I'm not getting it on the website. I've got 2% on my website, but we're getting some amazing collections. Hopefully I can get it pumped in a bit longer, but these are the collections what we're sort of picking up, and we're picking up some really quality stuff, swords to guns to everything, and, pay books and, everything. It's just, yeah, I've spent a lot of money, and I've probably only been able to list about a quarter of it, so, or not even a quarter of it, maybe a tenth of it, and it's hard when you get so many collections in, and you buy and you buy and buy, and you don't get anywhere because you're not listing anything. If you don't get it online, you can't sell it. No one can see it. So I understand that, guys. So just trying to, sort my life out and sort out the shit and get this done. So anyway, we're going to talk about some guns. So here, some amazing guns here. We'll start with the big heavy one. This is sort of like a pump gun. So this is Persian, like an Arab gun. I don't know why, but I've invented a name for the monkey gun because they sort of got like a bloody, always thought of them as a bit of a monkey gun, so I sort of invented that myself. So this is a big heavy thing. It weighs a ton for a gun. It's probably, 3 times as heavy as another gun. You can't hold this on your shoulder and fire it. It's huge. So this would have been at a fort. It's got flintlock sort of, a British sort of flintlock system on it. So here, we've got, this is heavy. I would say it's at least, by the feel of it, about 8 kgs, which is really heavy for a gun, 8-9 kgs, possibly even more. But it's like a punt gun. It's sort of feathered at the end like a blunderbuss, but it's sort of, I haven't really looked down the barrel to see if it was a bit bigger, but yeah, sort of a bit flared out the end. Yeah, but big heavy charge in these things, so the shot would have come right up to here, whatever they wanted to charge it at, and the barrel being so thick it would have shot at long range. So probably leaning on a fort. No guy would have shot it, so it was leaning on the fort, looking out at them and saying, right, this is it. Oh, Jesus, I can't even lift it, mate. I'm getting old too. Yeah, so this is like a big, heavy thing. It's quite old. Sort of dating this at around about, sort of copied off the British version, which they grabbed a lot of these, like a Brown Bess sort of action. Yeah, so this is possibly a Brown Bess lock and then fitted into these. They used to grab parts from whatever country they did. Big, heavy thing. Guessing it's around about 1790s, somewhere around that, give or take 10 or so years either side, so roughly a 240-year-old gun. Yeah, very, very nice, very different, look good on a wall. You don't need a license for any of these guns I'm showing you, so yeah, awesome little gun. And, well, not little gun, it's big. Yeah, so that's your monkey gun, what I call it, or Persian gun. So these things are really nice. Next one we're going to talk about is, what should we go with next? Go with this thing. I think this is a bit like, I don't know a lot about these guns, but it sort of looks like Ottoman sort of Persian-y sort of style by the way of these ways it is. I don't think it's South American. And this is called a snap haunt. Yeah, snap haunt, because I keep forgetting it, snap haunt. So this is a snap haunt lock. Yeah. So snap haunt lock, which is a different system. This come out before the flintlocks, but it's still a flintlock, but a snap haunt. They done away with this design. So we're thinking this is around about 1740s. So you're looking at a 260, 270-year-old gun. Very innate, with all this sort of stuff in it. Quite nice. I'm going to put this one up on Trade Me for $1 and let rip. Not the best made gun, but it is what it is. And it's an old gun with this snap haunt lock. Yeah. So that's that one anyway. It's a lot lighter. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 1/6 of the weight of that thing. Yeah. If that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's that one. The next one we're going to talk about, I'm just going to talk about a couple of guns, so I'm probably going to waffle a bit, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know a lot about these things, but I've got a deal to this collection, and it's quite a big collection, so I'm just picking up bit by bit every time. This, I believe, I'm just going off my gut feeling of the way I look at guns. I believe this is well, one of the longest guns I've ever had. It actually stands, it's about 1 inch taller than me, I think. I'm about there, and this is there, so it's a 6-foot gun. It's massively long. Yeah. So still, what, 1/4 of the weight of that big gun, but heavier than this gun. Yeah. So I think this is South American by the way it's got these flashy gold bits on it, the way it's made. Here we've got a number here on the butt. Yeah. On the butt we got that. It's sort of, yes, South America. Well, the way I go to South America, they're quite religious, so it's got like a cross on it. So that's sort of talking possibly Peru or somewhere around that, and it's got a peacock badge on it. It does look like it's been on there a long time. You can see the wear around it. Quite nice. The mechanism on it, it's percussion. So by the way it's sort of done, and it looks to me, it looks very Frenchy or Spanish or some sort of design on that, by the way it's sort of designed onto me. Yeah, that's the way I'm going. So a lot of Spanish and French, and I believe different countries went to South America, and these guns were adopted by them. But awesome long gun. Yeah. So I think that's your original sight there, which is like a little there, and then they've put this one on, and possibly actually fired this gun at some stage later in its life, but I'm guessing this one's around about, I don't know, 1860s, 1850s, going off the way it's made and the feel with it. So that's that gun. Awesome gun. The flask looks quite neat, so we're going to leave that flask with it. This is probably going to be a $1 gun on Trade Me. Let rip, but we'll put them on, you know, pretty, not you know, one a week probably. This one I'll probably go on the website. I quite like it, and very heavy and heavy to ship. Yeah. This gun here sort of reminds me of a coach gun. Coach gun is like a gun they used to pull out and just shoot. Yeah. So who knows how it was made, when it was made, but it's sort of like a sawn-off shotgun probably in its time, you know, point and shoot. So easy for the person that had it, would have been straight on the mark and shot someone with it. So this is possibly land war sort of era. Ideal for close range, full of whatever they could. Nice, well, I think it's bigger than say a shotgun, isn't it? Yeah, you think it's bigger than a shotgun as well. So it's just a shoot gun, highway gun. You know, some of the Maldies might have used it as a, you know, ideal for them. Close range, get in there, get the job done. And this one's sort of like a percussion gun as well, but instead of having the locking mechanism on the inside, they've sort of got the action on the outside, so you can see like the action on the outside. So it's not a converted flintlock. I believe it's a percussion gun. It's always been a percussion gun, and then they've got the action on the outside to make it work. See how you got the levers. So usually this is on the inside, so it's sort of an outside version of a percussion gun. You know, the more ones you usually readily see. But yeah, quite nice. Just a little shooter that's probably done a lot. Yeah. Anyway, well, that's that one there. We're going to go on about the next one, which is another flintlock. Quite nice. It's got that sort of I don't know, Baltic Russian sort of style to it, possibly. Yeah, quite nice. Yeah. So there, and yeah, skull crusher. Well, I call them skull crushers. You know, if they run out of shot, they would go along and then bang on there. You can see a little bit of cracking on there, on the top there, which obviously must have been a knock at some stage. So, you know, they were a head crusher because they only can fire one shot, and then they turn into a club, and you can see a little bit of damage there, and it looks quite old in it, you know. Just noticed that now. So, and then the point would have given you a good club on the head, wouldn't it? So, yeah, quite a long gun and a good little weapon afterwards, because you've got quite a bit of use on it. So that's that one. Quite nice, and we'll probably do that at $1 or $2 on Trade Me and let rip on that one, I think, and we'll see how that one goes. But we've got, like we said, we've got a huge collection, and I've got to move it on, so we've got to get through it. So that's one. That's another one. Yeah, it's not just that collection that I'm going through. There's other collections, lots of different stuff, lots of nice stuff I'm getting in. I'm just not getting anything listed. It's just hard. Yeah, Indian Talwar here. So just go on a couple of swords. Indian Talwar, quite nice as well. Yeah, nice original scabbard with it. Sort of these things are sort of, a lot of people, you know, these are a couple of 240 years old. A lot of people think that the 1796 sword was sort of copied off these, you know, because they're a similar sort of blade in the way they're shaped. So that's Indian talwar, and really nice with the scabbard. We'll probably put that, possibly, maybe website or trade me. I'm not 100% sure yet, but yeah, it's really nice. It's a bit funny, the market at the moment, but I quite like that myself. Good feel to it. A couple other swords. We've got swords to show you. A 1796, this one here. So we've got another 1796 sword here. Yeah, so I'm talking quite a bit. It's got a bit of the wood coming out of it. That makes it slide in better. But this has got some beautiful markings going up it. It's all etched up the blade, both sides. I don't know if you can see that, but yep, it's really nice and clear in my view. Yep, coming up it, up there, all the way to the end, to your quill point end. This is 1796. So you can sort of see the blade copy of the Indian sword. So you go to the Indian sword, and you can see why some collectors and some people actually thought they copied them off the Indian talwars. If you hold them both together, you know, they're very similar, aren't they? So you can see they're very similar. You know, this is etched on both sides of the blade. For a 1796, this sword is beautiful, beautiful, all the way up it. It's a stunning sword, very rare, with a clip point on the end, a quill point, sorry. Yeah, quill point at the end, and as you can see, they're very similar on the way they're designed. So some people have said that they've sort of copied off the Indians, really. Awesome sword, slashing sword, these swords, and they're full slashing swords, which only 95 or 98% of the swords were actually slashing swords and killing swords. This one's done a lot of damage. They've been in battle. You can see a lot of the chips come, you know, in the blade, right along it. Heavy chips. This has been there and done that. This sword, really nice sword, officer's sword, obviously, and you can actually see where it's been hit here. You can see where it's been brazed with brass. They've brassed where the hit is. It's gone right through it. On both sides it's been brazed. So a long time ago, this sword has been in action. Another sword is hut down, bang onto that, and it's been brazed with brass to repair it. A sword that has done so much. This sword is rare, absolutely rare. You will not find much like this in New Zealand or anywhere in the world. Really nice sword to own, and I bought it. Yeah, so cool. No rush to sell it, but right money, it'll sell. What else have you got here? Oh, swords everywhere. Have another drink for Fred. Cheers for Fred. What about him, Fred? I know you didn't know him, my mate, army mate. But cheers for Fred.
Cheers for
Fred. So I'm having a rum, thinking about him tonight. So we have a rum. Yeah, one last sword to talk to you. I'm not going to get into all the swords. This is a sword. This is a sword. So this is a general sword. Marmaluke sword. General coat of arms over here. So you got the general coat of arms. Nice grip. This is ivory grip. Got a bit of a knock in here. Yeah, really nice scabbard and brass. Needs a good polish. The collector that had these has been dead quite a few years, and you know, like collectors, they just look after their stuff. But this one's sort of been. This is sort of shows you the damage this thing's had from sitting in the scabbard for years. A lot of damage all over it. You can see the damage on it, like right along the blade. But once again, your quill point tip on it, so it's a nice early one. So these swords sort of come out of, from memory, about 1830s. I believe this is, we'll get the coat of arms. We'll probably get a coat of arms around here somewhere, but I'll have a look for it. It's got a maker name in here, so we'll try to decide from that. I haven't given a really good study of what the sword is all about, but I believe it's pre-Victorian by the way it's quill pointed at the end, and then the brass scabbard, which is early. Really nice sword, probably dates around 1840, so it's about 180 years old plus. Yeah, really nice. It's, even if it's got a bit of damage on it, still looks amazing on the wall. And it's just a shame that the sword was sitting in the scabbard so long. So Probably sat in there for possibly 100 and something years. And yeah, moisture in a room can do that sort of damage to a sword. But $3,500 sword, $3,000 sword, if it was a minty, probably a grand sword as it is now, but still a really nice sword. Now you scab it on the hone's about $350, $400. So, but it used to belong to a general. Has been there and done that. Nice sword. So that's anyway, a bit about a couple of swords and Fred. And he always said, yeah, he always said to me, you know, I said, oh, I'm a collector of trench art, I'm a collector of this, I'm a collector of that. But at the end of the day, you can't be, you know, I can't be a dealer and keep a hold of this stuff. So I basically sell anything. Some things I do like, and you'll get it out of my collection for the right money. But I basically sold everything that I own and everything I've got, apart from my family stuff, which is important to me. I do collect, as you can see, there's shit all around me. Yeah, and my lounge is sort of like a museum. So that's it. Thank you very much, Fred. Thank you for our for all the years that I did see you at shows. I probably met you a bit. I didn't meet Fred until later, which was probably, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago. I don't know, 25 years ago. He was probably at shows. I just didn't talk to him much. So now that I've sort of got a little bit more around things and started coming out of going to shows and doing dealing and everything. Yeah, top man. Thank you very much, Fred, for the last 20 odd years of knowing you and all the bargains and all the money I made out of you. Thank you, Fred. Thank you for your hospitality and your smiles and everything else. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Fred.
Stop.
What do I push?
The button.
Which one? The roundy one?
Yeah. Is it stopped?
No. Let it do it.
Oh, well, that's going to be on the video now. That one.